Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are going to discuss an interesting topic, that is, history of Colombia. Let's start the topic. For millennia prior to the arrival of Europeans, indigenous peoples inhabited the land we now call Colombia. Some tribes relied on fishing and hunting for sustenance, while others practiced agriculture. The first European to set foot in the region was Alonso de Ojeda in 1500. However, it wasn't until 1533 that permanent Spanish settlements were established, with Cartagena and Santa Marta being the first. Bogotá was founded in 1538. In 1564, Colombia was designated as a captaincy general. The colony flourished, and large numbers of African slaves were brought there to work. In 1808, Napoleon appointed his brother as the King of Spain, triggering resistance in the Spanish colonies. In 1810, most of Colombia declared independence, though it was short-lived as the Spanish reasserted control in 1815–16. However, Simón Bolívar's victory at the Battle of Boyacá in 1819 led to the formation of a new nation comprising Colombia, Panama, Venezuela, and Ecuador. The new nation was known as the Republic of Colombia. Despite this unity, regional differences led to the breakup of the new country. Bolívar assumed dictatorship in 1828 but resigned in 1830, leading to the separation of Colombia from present-day Panama, Ecuador and Venezuela. Colombia faced significant turmoil in the 19th century, marked by 8 civil wars. By 1849, two political parties emerged: the Conservative Party, representing landowners and the Catholic Church, and the Liberal Party, representing merchants and craftsmen. Political instability persisted into the late 19th century, culminating in the devastating War of 1,000 Days in 1899. In 1903, Panama seceded from Colombia to become an independent nation. In the early 20th century, Colombia experienced relative peace and economic growth, particularly with the expansion of coffee exports. However, in 1948, the country was plunged into another civil conflict known as La Violencia. Colombia's historical divisions between liberals and conservatives erupted into violence following the assassination of liberal leader Jorge Eliezer Gaitán on April 9, 1948. The army sided with the conservatives, and in 1953 General Gustavo Rojas Pinilla seized power, becoming a dictator. However, in 1957, Rojas relinquished control, and the Liberal and Conservative parties reached an agreement to share governance. From 1957 to 1974, the presidency alternated between the two parties. In the 1960s, leftist guerrilla groups emerged in Colombia, marking the beginning of a long-standing conflict. This was followed by a surge in cocaine production during the 1970s and 1980s, leading to a significant increase in violence fueled by the drug trade. Additionally, Colombia experienced a severe recession in the early 1980s. However, the situation began to improve in the early 21st century. Violence decreased notably after 2002, and the Colombian economy experienced rapid growth, accompanied by reductions in poverty and unemployment. Despite being affected by the global recession of 2009 and severe floods in 2010, Colombia's economy recovered swiftly. Moreover, tourism in Colombia has been on the rise, contributing to the country's development. As of 2024, Colombia's population stands at 52 million. Culture of Colombia. Colombia's rich and diverse culture reflects its complex history, blending Spanish, indigenous, and African influences into a uniquely tolerant and proud society. While Colombians generally welcome interaction with foreigners, sensitive topics such as politics, religion, and drugs are typically reserved for intimate conversations among close acquaintances. The nation's deep Catholic roots, established during Spanish colonial rule, meld indigenous traditions into vibrant festivals, such as the renowned carnivals, which showcase colorful celebrations of ethnic diversity and unity through traditional dance, attire, music, and cuisine, often honoring Catholic saints. Colombia's artistic heritage spans centuries, with a tradition of producing internationally acclaimed paintings, sculptures, and jewelry. The country boasts a rich oral folklore tradition alongside a flourishing literary and cinematic scene, highlighted by events like the Bogotá International Book Fair and film festivals in Cartagena.